When you're creating characters, I mean, aside from all that background crap that I, throw in there that nobody knows about or cares about, there are things that you want to make a character different in some way, aside from doing something to your face. My agent and managers had a real problem with me for a couple of years because I like to scar myself. And they were like, stop putting scars on your face. We like the way you look. And in the beginning, when I first started doing movies, I think early on in my career, Laurence Olivier died. So Laurence Olivier died, and I was sitting at home, and his obituary came on when they were talking about him, and they put his face up on the screen. And as they talked about him, they morphed through all these different characters that he'd done on screen. And I was sitting there going, wow, look at that. So that was the beginning of me and my hair career, and my wig maker, doing all the different hairstyles and ways that I could change my look through hair. And the other way you change yourself is through the physical movement of a character, how they move, in terms of how they feel about themselves, or do they have any infirmities, or we've all known people who have different gaits and all kinds of things. When I did 187 and I was playing a school teacher, because I'd been around school teachers all my life, all I had to do was kind of amalgamate the school teachers that I knew and create this teacher who had a fear of students after he'd been stabbed in school. Being an upright, nerdy kind of guy, I decided to make him slew-footed. And he walked upright in a specific way with his feet like that, and he wobbled when he walked with his glasses, and he pushed his glasses up on his face a lot. So that was him. In Time to Kill, that was my grandfather and his brothers. These old country dudes that work the land, work a hard job, pigeon-toed, kind of stooped, arms loose, loping, kind of swaying from side to side, kind of a hangdog look, always got that analyzation face on when they look at you, brow wrinkle because they listening to you but thinking something. There's that guy. Shaft, because Shaft attacks the world. So fists clenched a lot, walking upright, chest out, aggressive, leaning forward, into the wind, into everything that's coming at him. Elijah in Unbreakable had a specific disease that I talked to people who had that disease, and I talked to parents who had kids who had it. It's really crazy and kind of insane disease that, they have to think about the kind of covers that they sleep under, because if you pull the covers up when you turn over, you could break your ankle. You can just snap your ankle when you turn over, pull the cover too tight or whatever. Or two people who had the disease who chose to have children who get the disease. 100% they're going to get it, but they figure we can figure out a safe way to raise this kid. So him going around in the world full of sharp edges and how he navigated that world and how he carried himself in it, and being on that cane. I did ask for a glass cane, which is kind of obvious, but it was so cool I couldn't resist. I had to have it. Finding that vulnerability in that character and how he approached everything, especially things that he didn't know. I think it's one of the greatest scenes in that movie is him standing at the top of those stairs. And everybody in the movie knows this is not gonna end well. This is not gonna end well. Oh my God.
I just want to ask you something.
That fall in Unbreakable is it's so nasty and so, just horrid. They have costume designers, but you have conversations with costume designers. I do. And when we start talking about who that person is and how they want to dress them, do you dress them in a way that's attractive? Do you dress him in a way that's repulsive? Do you dress him in a way that automatically informs an audience who you are and what you do? Are you, a lawyer in a three-piece suit with a briefcase or whatever? Or are you, a street lawyer with a trench coat and a rumple suit and a battered kind of satchel? There are all kinds of things that inform people of who you are, what you do. What kind of doctor are you? Are you a general practitioner? Are you a surgeon of sorts? Do you have skills? Are you a failed doctor? Or are you a good surgeon? Or are you a shaky surgeon? Do you have drug issues? Do you have alcohol issues? Do you have family issues that interfere with, your job and your judgment? There's just so many things that you put with people and what they do or what they did before they do the thing that you see them doing on screen. The first thing for me is always the story, and then, the character on the inside of it. And if he has an interesting job or he does something that's interesting, then I will go and explore it. When I did Black Snake Moan, it was so serendipitous. It was crazy because I was shooting film in New York, and I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony one night, and this voice behind me said, "You should play a blues musician in a movie, and let me teach you how to play guitar." And I turned around, and it was this woman, Felicia Collins, who played guitar in David Letterman's band. And we laughed about it and talked for a minute. And I came back, went to the Academy Awards, presented, and they were still giving gift baskets then. And one of the gifts in the gift basket was a Gibson guitar. So I ordered it, and it came, and then the script for Black Snake Moan came, and I talked to Craig, and I went back to New York to shoot another film, called Felicia to say, "I'm playing a blues guitarist. I need to learn how to play guitar." So she started teaching me to play guitar. So I learned to play blues guitar from her. And then I went to Seattle to do Snakes on a Plane. And at that time, I was carrying the guitar around on my back in a case, like I was a guitarist or something, because I was practicing all the time. And the prop master on Snakes on a Plane was a guitarist. And he played blues guitar. So he came to my trailer every day and drilled me and taught me the songs that I had to play in the movie. And then I got to Memphis, and the musical director of the film and Craig started taking me around to all these blues places and meeting these blues musicians and making me play with them and do stuff. So before I knew it, I had corns on my fingers and everything else, and I could play. And you do that, and I knew the blues from my grandfather and his brothers, the country guys, and I listened to a lot of blues, played a lot of blues, hung out in these speakeasies with these guys, and kind of found my way into that. When I did Caveman's Valentine, I was playing a concert pianist who was schizophrenic. So I took piano lessons and learned how to, reach over and under and move my fingers and do the whole thing. So, and I actually kind of learned the songs that I had to play slowly, but I could do them quickly on a mute piano. So I could do that and had that under control and studied the whole thing with the people on schizophrenia and talked to doctors about it and did that. So I would understand who, he was, Romulus was, in terms of being in the world and what he saw, what he felt, and what specific things I needed to accurately portray a schizophrenic. What else? I learned to play cello for a movie once. So you learn these various skills and things. Even in gun movies, I went to, when we did SWAT, we went to SWAT school, all of us. So we learned to be a SWAT team. We went to the gun range, fired live a lot, at targets till we could hit them. Looked like we knew what we were doing with those guns. I've been trained by at least 4 different branches of the service or law enforcement in terms of how they use their guns, how they hold them, what their guard positions are, what their firing positions are, for any number of gun movies, and went to Vietnam Jungle School with Captain Dye for rules of engagement. We were in South Carolina. Tommy Lee had a Marine company. I had a Marine company. And Captain Dye had a company of Vietnamese soldiers out in the swamp. And every day we went looking for each other and set up ambushes and did all this stuff so that we would look like Vietnam soldiers. You know, it was nasty and leechy and all that. But you know, you do these things. They're an extension for me of, you know, the gun games, especially, you know, the kids' games that I played. I mean, even in Hateful Eight, we went. At one point, I was supposed to be on a horse, so I've ridden horses when I was a kid. But we rode. We went to the stables and rode. We learned how to hitch and unhitch a 6-horse wagon, you know, while we were out there doing this stuff. So those are things that you learn that are, you know, specific to the craft, so that you look natural when you're doing them and you feel natural when you're doing them. All those things count and they mean something, especially when you know, like I always tell people, there's going to be somebody sitting there in the audience that does this job. And if you don't look like you know what you're doing, you're going to take them out of the movie. And they'll just look at you like, another actor, you know, pretending to do what I do and not even pretending to do it right. If the costumer can do it, you know, put on, do whatever, change yourself as many ways as you possibly can, change your hair, change your nose. You know, if they got the money, go to the dentist, get you some new teeth, get your teeth all, you know, something you can slide over your teeth and make them bad, good, or whatever. Do all the things that you have in your mind that will help you inform the audience when they see this character for, oh, that's who that is. You know, don't make them guess unless it's all about a guessing game of them guessing who you are. Let them know who you are immediately and then proceed to make that person real as you can.